Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little amigurumi doll sweater. I use them for my rag dolls and my little Cupid dolls. So I'm going to show you guys my take on the little sweaters. I'm going to be using a 5.0 milliliter crochet hook, and I'm also going to be using a smaller hook. This one I'm not too sure what size it is, but as long as you have a smaller hook, and I'll show you the difference in size. You see that's a really big difference. As long as you have a smaller hook than the original one, you don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I choose to do it. So you'll see why I use a smaller one in a minute. And I'm using the Craft Smart Value and Color Cream, and this one have like little bits and pieces of other colors mixed into it, and I thought that would just be so cute as a sweater. So that's what I'm going to be using. And the first thing that we want to do is make a slip knot. And I'm sorry about the fan sound in the background. It's a very hot night over here in New York. We are going to chain up 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, oops, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. So you can tweak this pattern. You can go up in stitches, down in stitches, but you have to always have an even number. So the next thing that we are going to do for round 2 is go into the second from hook, and we are going to make a single crochet in the second from hook and all the way down our chain. So that is what we're going to do for row 2. And I will meet you here at the end of this row. Okay, so now I am at the end of the row, and I'm going to make, these little bits and pieces are coming off this thread, this yarn. So I'm going to put a single crochet into the last 2 stitches. Now what we are going to do is chain 1 and turn our work. Now what we are going to do is put a single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th we're going to put 2. So we're going to do an increase in each 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just 2 single crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and increase 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and now just 1 single crochet down the line. Okay, what we did with those extra increases was help to curve and form the neck of our sweater. So now what we are going to do is chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, Now we are going to put a single crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we are going to form our holes for our sleeves, and we are going to do that by chaining 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to count 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into that 6th stitch we are going to put a single crochet. Now we are going to single crochet down the line into the next 12 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we are going to chain 6 to form the other hole for our sleeve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And single crochet into that 6th stitch. And now we will add a single crochet down the line. Okay, now we just made our holes for our sleeves. Now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. At this point you can also add a loop for the button if you choose to. I'm not going to do it at this time. I've done it on previous sweaters, but on this one I'm not going to do it. So I am going to put a single crochet for the next row, 1 single crochet down the line for the next I'm going to personally put 6 to 8 rows. If you want it to be like a halter top sweater or like a mini sweater crop top, then you would yeah, that's the better word, crop top. Wait, halter top, I get it confused. Anyway, a sweater where it's really short so you could show the belly, then you would put fewer rows. If you wanted to make this pattern into a trench coat, you can. You would just add more rows. I'm going to only need, for the doll that I'm making this for, I only need about 6 to 8 rows. So I will meet you back after I have put my 6 to 8 rows, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay guys, so I have forgot to mention how to crochet around the sleeve. You can just crochet around the whole sleeve, but that's, I don't like it to be fat underneath the arm, so what I do is I crochet into each top loop only. Okay, a single crochet into the top loop of the chain space. I'm gonna get a little closer, hopefully it's not blurry. Top loop, single crochet, top loop, single crochet, whoopsie, single crochet, top loop, single crochet, top loop, single crochet, top loop, single crochet, and single crochet down the line. Of course, chain 1 always to turn your work, and add as many rows as you want. So I will meet you here at the end of the amount of rows that I'm going to put. Okay, so I have done my 6 rows. I'm not going to go longer because the doll that I want it for is a very short-waisted doll. So now what I'm going to do is, at this point, you are going to want to fasten off. That's If you want to, you can keep going and do the decorative edge with the same color yarn. I'm going to also be switching to my smaller hook, and I'm just going to fasten on this yarn into that same corner space. I'm going to do a single crochet, then I'm going to add 2 double crochets. So here's my first one, and another one, and a single crochet. Into the next chain or stitch place, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Into the next, I'm going to make a single crochet, two double, and I kind of lost my yarn there. Let me go back. And now a single. Okay, so we're going to repeat that pattern and a slip stitch into the next, and slip stitch, and well, not slip stitch, but a single crochet into the next. So we will be repeating this pattern all the way down the line. Two double crochets, single, slip stitch into the next chain space, and a single crochet into the next. Repeat your pattern. So I will meet you here at the end of this row. I'm at the end of my row, and this is what my scallop decorative edge looks like so far. There is one stitch left over, and we are just going to make a single crochet to that stitch. So now what I'm going to do is add another single crochet into that corner stitch, because I want to finish off the edge, this row edge here. So I'm just going to put a single crochet all down this line, wherever you can put your crochet hook, in every hole or space that you see that's available. Into the corner stitch, we are going to add 2 single crochet into that same space. You could weave in your tail space if you want. You could weave it in now as you crochet, or you could weave it in with your needle. And now we are going to put a single crochet along the collar. And I will meet you here at the end of this row of the collar. So I am at the end of the collar row down to the corner stitch, and now what I'm going to do is add 2 single crochets into that corner stitch. And now we are going to add a single crochet to finish off this row edge. We'll some tangles here. Okay. So now we are just going to put a slip stitch into the cluster, to that scallop loop. And now we will fasten off. So I am going to meet you back here to show you how to do the sleeves and the collar. For the collar, we are going to decide which side do we want as our inside, which is our outside. I believe this is my outside. This is going to be my inside. Let me just double check that. Yes, so this will be my inside. Okay, so I'm gonna put my outside right side facing towards me with the smaller crochet hook. In the corner, I'm going to fasten on my cream color. Gonna make a chain, tighten that, and go back into the same chain space and make a single crochet. Make a double crochet, make another double crochet, and make a single crochet into the same. This is all being done in the same chain space. So we are forming our scallop on the collar the way we did on the bottom. Is the same pattern. Into the next stitch, slip stitch, to the next one, single crochet, 2 double crochets, and a single crochet. Into the next one, slip stitch. So I will meet you here at the end of this row to show you what we are going to be doing next. So I'm at the end of my row, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the corner stitch that's left. Whoops, let's try that again. Okay, so now we have done our scalloped collar. And so now what I'm going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work on the inside now. So this is the outside, this is my inside. So I want my collar to kind of face down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet a little border here across on the back of the scallop collar. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but this is something that I normally do. So the first thing that we are going to do is go bend our sweater slightly, and we're going to go into that border stitch to that end of the row of this color yarn, if that makes sense. So we are going to make a single crochet across, and it's going to help push our scalloped edge down and give us a little collar edge. Again, you don't have to do this. You can skip this process and keep the collar standing up, facing up the scallop edge. It's all according to your preference. It can be a little tricky. Sorry, I wasn't focused. Just push it down and hold it down. And this yarn from Dollar Tree, it tends to unravel, especially when you're using a sharp pointed crochet hook like the one that I'm using. Oops, I lost my yarn. So I will meet you here at the end of this row. So I am at the end of this row here, and I'm going to make the final single crochet in this corner edge, and I'm going to add a second one just to bring me up to that nitty-gritty edge. Now what I'm going to do is chain one and turn my work. So now you can see by creating that little stitch across the back of the scallops, now it holds it down in place instead of having it up. So now I want this collar to be a little bit more pronounced. So what I'm going to do is, before I do that, I'm going to make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to anchor that down with a slip stitch on the side. Now this is going to be my button hole. So now I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and go back into that buttonhole and just crochet 5 single crochets into that hole. So 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to make a single crochet all the way down the line, just because I want my collar to have or to be more pronounced, to stand out more. So I'm just going to add a single crochet down the line. I will meet you here at the end of this row, and we will be working on our sleeves next. Okay, so I am at the end of the collar, and I am going to do the final single crochet into that same chain space, and I'm going to add one more just to make sure I'm at the very edge, and into the top of that cluster I am going to make a slip stitch. Okay, now you can fasten off the collar, and you are done. Okay, so now we have our sweater nearly complete. If you want, you can make this sweater sleeveless. So this is the way it's going to be. I'm going to put my button right there, and it's going to be a flared sweater. So cute. It's going to look so stinking cute. It's gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make the sleeves, and it is super uber easy. You have the choice of keeping the thin hook. You can also return to your large hook, but I'm going to keep my thin hook just because the doll that it's going to be for has very thin arms. So what we are going to do is make a slip knot. Take your hole, look for any stitch that seems to be the center, and I'm going to latch it on. Make a single crochet into that same chain space. Now at this point, it would be good to use a stitch marker I don't have it with me at the moment. They are in another room, so I'm just going to use a different colored yarn as my stitch marker. And this is just to remind me where's my end from my beginning, so that way I know how many rows that I want to put into here to make my sleeves. So we are just going to put a single crochet in every stitch around this sleeve hole. So one single crochet all around. And you could put as many rows as you choose. I think I'm going to put about 8 rows. And from there, I'll try it on the doll and see if I want it longer or shorter. So it's good to have the doll that you are making it for on hand, just so you can measure. Okay, so I'm back at my beginning stitch. So that is row 1. Now we'll be completing row 2. So I'm done with row 2. Now I'm starting row 3. So I will meet you at the end of my 8 rows and show you what to do next. So I have done my 8 rows of my sleeves. Now I'm going to measure it on the doll to see if I want to make it longer, shorter. So I want it for these little Cupid dolls, but I also can use it for another doll. So I'm gonna see. So for the Cupid doll, I would have to go less less rounds on the arm, so I put 8. I will go down, take out maybe 2 or 3 rounds for the Cupid size doll, for the small doll. Now for the rag dolls, Raggedy Ann doll, which I also use the same pattern, just add more rounds for the arms. And for this doll, I would have made this part longer. So now it's like a halter top or crop top, or I don't know what you call it, but short. So I think I am going to keep this sweater for the rag doll and make a smaller one for the Cupid doll. So I am going to add about 3 or 4 yards more for a total of 12 for the longer arm doll. Okay guys, so that is basically it. You measure your doll and see how many rounds you're going to do for the arm. Also, I did make a boo-boo. This was supposed to be my outer side, and this was supposed to be my inside, but when I bend the cluster roll when we were crocheting it, I bend it to the wrong side. So make sure that you have the right side. So this, because it looks cleaner, as you can see the edges, and you can see the difference on this one. See that? So don't do that mistake. Make sure that you're bending it on the outside and not towards the inside. Okay guys, so that is it. That is how you make a cute little sweater. Of course, you weave in all your edges, and again you measure the length of arm that you want for your doll. And also you can reduce some of these rows towards the end to make the armhole tighter fitting. So that's it. Hopefully you guys like it. Please hit that like button and give a thumbs up, and thank you for taking the time to visit. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video.